Welcome everyone to Price Action Live at TradersPost for October 28th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, joined as ever by Mike the Icarus Christensen.
Oh, I thought you were going to call me the Ick. I was like, yeah, I see. I gotcha.
Up to 4 days a week. He's a co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. Today's stream is brought to you by Blue Sky, the best-in-class prop firm that offers same-day activation, daily payouts, and no max restrictions. Visit blusky.pro and sign up for your first prop firm account today and trade futures like never before. That's blusky.pro, BLUSKY.pro. Mike, markets only go up. This is a truism that all long-term traders know, but no, even truer the last few days.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. This is one of the more robust rallies we've seen in a while. Normally there are healthy pullbacks in uptrends. If we go back to September of this year, it was a nice uptrend. We could definitely describe it as a bull market, but along the way, there were little trips into retracements where we would test the long-term moving averages. And these are pretty healthy pullbacks. This trend, however, whatever this is just straight up day after day after day after day with a couple of tiny pullbacks along the way. But let's be honest, this is nuts. These last three candles have two unmitigated gaps that I at some point are going to have to fill. In my mind, gaps usually fill. So if I go back to our 2-minute chart here, I have a couple of gap indicators open at the moment. We have a gap that needs to fill from Friday still. That's the 25,100 gap. Then there's the 25,500 gap that also needs to fill. And both of these are very large gaps. So if we were to experience a pullback here, it'd be almost 3% or 700 points to fill both those gaps together.
Right.
Now, I don't think it's going to happen in one day, but you never know. I mean, markets do anything these days. So this rally looks incredible. I'm excited about it. If you were on the long side yesterday, you did well because it just crept up all day long. I was not. I kept making the mistake of trying to short above VWAP again, breaking my rules again, Tom. So today I am sticking to the rules and trying to stay above go long above VWAP, go short below VWAP.
So Santa Claus rally. That's what it feels like is happening here. We have, once we get past different negative catalysts that can occur, a major negative catalyst on the macro scale, the Santa Claus rally is almost textbook going into the end of the year. Why? Because the market is up, and if it closes the year up, there's a bunch of money out there, a bunch of assets that go up in value. They can get collateralized and used to buy back more of the stock market come January. And since we know that that's going to happen in January, people front run that at the end of the year, especially after the OPEX, the quarterly OPEX at the end of September, and then usually the Fed meeting in October. So we'll see what's going to go on there. The big issue we had, the big fear we had was Trump and tariffs with China. And they have been telegraphing, by they, I mean the Trump administration has been telegraphing a deal done with China, a great deal done with China. That's going to happen in 2 days. Okay. And so I was having this expectation that, okay, after October, basically November 1st, we start getting this massive rally, but that we do the full correction before the end of this month. So you're saying, 3% down, maybe unlikely in a day. I don't think so. I think we are very likely to see, or not very likely, that it's totally in the realm of believability that we retrace on the NASDAQ all the way down to 25,220, even as low as, even as low as 24,800, wick style. before, and then we reclaim everything and just rally hard into the end of the year. Now, I thought that was going to start last night. And then I thought it was going to start the day before, and then the overnight, the day before that, it didn't happen. And so, as we keep extending, the likelihood is, I don't know. I don't even know if to think about the likelihood. It just feels like it should pull back at some point. The idea that this gap never gets filled, that to me seems crazy.
I mean, not all gaps get filled. It is possible. About less than 10% of gaps get filled, or less than 20% on NASDAQ. And it certainly is in the realm of possibility. It's been a while since I've seen this kind of a bullish gap up several sessions in a row that doesn't get mitigated. So looking at, we'll go back to this 2-minute chart here. We're also about to gap up again today. So at a minimum, this 28 basis point gap we're about to open with in 8 minutes, assuming this doesn't just go higher and touch even newer highs this morning, will probably fill. We probably have some amount of pullback, but that's only about 73 points. The options market on the NASDAQ is expecting a pretty small move today. Yesterday was 66 basis points. Today, it's only 47 basis points. So they're expecting it's going to be boring today. It is Tuesday. There are no major earnings reports except for Visa today, and United Health Group already reported. They had a slight surprise to the upside. There's no economic data today. The Fed rate decision is tomorrow. So it could be a bit of a choppy open, maybe a little bit of a pullback. Maybe we close today's gap. But I think the move that you're describing will likely come with the Fed interest rate decision, or some announcement that comes from Trump today. Like, let's say the China deal goes bad and Trump tweets about it or posts on Truth Social. We could see a giant red candle in 1 second. I'm prepared for that as well.
Well, speaking of which, be prepared. We have a guest here, the strong trader in the chat. Can I pull him up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, what's up, guys?
There's our guy. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Appreciate you joining us. We just kind of went through a little bit of a recap of what we're seeing on the charts this morning. Did you have an idea of what you expect to see today?
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing.
He's also expecting nothing. Gotcha.
So I write game plans every morning for like our team Discord and stuff like that, and I'm honest about them. I'm like, honestly, I hate trading all-time highs. I don't have any levels to work with. I'm a level-based trader. So actually, I'm more focused on RTY today, the Russell.
Okay, yeah.
Because I actually have at least a little bit of structure, a little bit of levels to work with. NQ into the sun, ES into the sun, YM into the sun. And I'm an indice trader, so it's going to be one of those four. So RTY, I'm like, all right, it's only one of the bunch that I might be able to muster up something. We'll see. But day before FOMC, the way we've been moving, I don't have high expectations for today. So
yeah, I think tomorrow's definitely going to be the more interesting of a session. Do you expect you're going to trade like just in the morning tomorrow, or what's your typical game plan?
Yeah, I don't really trade FOMC much anymore. Back in the day, I'd get that quick hit, like it would feel good, and then eventually, I lost my ass too many times doing it, or it just didn't become worth it because I wasn't around. I don't like being around in the afternoon to trade. I have some swings and swing positions and stuff I'm going to be managing. I actually have, this morning I woke up to some nice news. I have some leaps on UNH and I have leaps on PayPal. So both of them gapped up on earnings in the pre-market. We'll see if those gaps hold, how they hold, but they don't expire until next year. So it's going to be some time anyways. So regardless, the plan was to hold it. It's like this earnings report shouldn't affect overall my decision on it, but it was cool to see, so it was a good little wake up. So whenever I wake up to something like that, I'm like, all right, I just don't feel pressure to go and try to make money or do anything. So
I know options are much can be much more easy that way. So were you expecting this surprise with UNH?
I mean, just from a technical point of view, the fact that we finally re-swept those lows and made new lows, but just subtly back a couple months ago. And then we've kind of just been trending up ever since. It's just been a bullish daily pattern of continuation. So I expect that to kind of keep cruising. We actually in the pre-market came right up into the 200 period moving average on UNH. So it kind of makes sense it's stalled out there.
Yep.
It's sitting right at like 390-ish. If we can get through that and kind of going, this might get some gas to come up towards the next gap, like the right before it starts. So yeah, right around like 435-ish there, 450. Yep, right there. So that's probably that's like my big target of what I'm looking for. Probably not looking for much more than that, to be honest, just based on like the time of the leaps and everything. But yeah, so if they got a little gap, we'll see if it holds.
Well, that is great. I bought the top of the gap at 291. I'm averaged into a fairly good position here.
Nice.
Just on direct equity ownership. No options for me. That's not quite my game yet, but excited if it definitely goes to 480. That's a great return for me.
Yeah, that'll be killer. Awesome, for sure.
I find it so hard to buy things other than Bitcoin.
Well, UNH had such an interesting pullback, not only on news, but really on earnings as well. And obviously it kind of found support here at 242. And it just looked interesting to me from a fundamental perspective. But it seems like you're more of a technical trader when it comes to stocks in general. Fundamentals.
I literally always say like I don't really care about fundamentals at all.
Got it. Okay.
With leaps, it's a little bit different. Definitely a bit different, because a really good company that's just way too beat up, I'm like, okay, I really try to go to like the basic. I go to like my basic investor mind, I guess, for that. And I don't know like a crazy amount of investing by any means, but like the simple, like, what do you use? What do you wear? What do you have in your pocket type of deal? And so like PayPal is like one of those where that thing is just so beat up. And I've been like, I use PayPal for my business all the time. Most businesses still use PayPal. I'm like, this thing has been like accumulating for years on end.
Right.
Just a matter of time. UNH, also one of the biggest healthcare companies in the entire world. It was crazy overreaction from tons of that news.
Yep.
But again, it was like the timing thing is the hardest part. And that's the hardest part with options for sure. So recently this year, like, when I started kind of experimenting with a little bit more swing trading, because I used to always get my ass handed to me with swing trades. But it would be because I'd be swing trading options that are like a month out or something like that, if that. And now I'm like, all right, dude, why don't you buy like 10 months or like a year or something? And then like, you don't have to really kind of worry about it too much, because as long as you're at least in some sort of good company that, more than likely will probably kind of return to the mean, you just don't stress as much. So that's I'm technicals overall, but fundamentally, like, I think about that a teeny bit for sure. But overall, when it comes to especially day trading, I'm always like, I don't care what the fundamentals are. I just, where are the levels? Where are we going? That's it.
Yep, that makes sense. And usually the two come together. I remember reading a book probably over a decade ago. Was when I first started reading it. It's by Nicholas Darvis on his method for box trading, and he calls himself a techno fundamentalist. And I was like, ooh, I really like that, because my background really started in corporate valuation. I had taken the courses from Stern NYU on valuation from Oswath to Motoron, and the fundamental part made a ton of sense to me. I came into technical analysis much later. So, kind of did the reverse of what you're looking for there. But the combining the two together often makes a ton of sense. And, UNH is starting to build up this momentum to the upside here. So it looks good. Plus a gap up today. All right. So we got a bit of a gap open here. This is 28 basis points. Pretty bullish right from the open. We're going to keep an eye on the first few candles and decide where we go from here. But same situation. We are struggling to trade all-time highs. It just keeps going up. So it seems like the best thing we can do is just throw on a long and hold it for the rest of the day.
I know, right? Yeah, my only focus is RTY, like I said.
Let's take a look at RTY.
Yeah, so it's one thing I do a lot is I look at both the futures name and the individual like indice name. So I have like on my like giant grid, I'll have like SPY and ES, I'll have NQ, QQQ, YM, DIA, and then RTY and IWM. So right now, like I was looking for, we're pushing into it, but on IWM on the daily chart, we have a gap fill set up. So it's like we are kind of pushing into that gap. So I either want to see if this is actually going to fill right here, or this is just going to kind of spike into it and be a fake out, and then actually we can take this long. So
got it.
This is one of those scenarios where like it depends kind of how we digest right here, but I would maybe look to take this long risk reward wise.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do that, I'll go ahead and pull up my screen and share it for you. But
sure,
not a fan of rushing this super quick at the open here.
Yeah, same here, but definitely interesting pullback for both the RTY and the IWM there, relative to what's happening with ES and XP right now. Yeah.
Yes. So let's see if we can get something.
Do you find yourself trading gold at all?
No, you know what? Actually, I've never traded gold really. Only a couple times I've messed with it. I know it's hot right now, but
it's insane.
It's just not my thing personally. So, you know, if I don't understand something, I kind of stay away.
That seems smart. Stick with what you know.
Exactly.
I've never traded the Russell before. Does it, I mean, looking at it right now, it is moving differently than the NASDAQ. Does it trade very differently than other indices that you deal with?
Yeah, you know, all these, I mean, every industry has its own characteristics and personalities. I always say it's like NQ is like a bull on steroids versus, okay, see, I kind of like this little pop right here. Let's see if this can hold. I'm watching for some sort of signal here.
On RTY?
I'm going to try one long here, put my stop at the low. It might be a bit early, but
that's interesting. It's barely touching the gap from Friday as well.
Yeah, let's see. I might be a little bit too early here, but I got like a little overshoot on this was like a really, really kind of aggressive entry, but this is like my whole sidewalk theory of like, if I lose right here, it's just one contract. I'm gonna lose $150.
Yeah.
I got market feedback telling me I'm a bit too early. And then from there, I look to just wait a little bit longer.
Got it.
So, but if it does hold, so no, it took me out. So I'm out $150, whatever. It's okay, kind of quick. But again, like for me, it's risk reward wise. So now the gap is like probably going to fill. I'm just going to wait on it now and chill. I don't like to take trades too much at the open, but this is one of those scenarios where, like I said, it was super close to like what I was looking for. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll attempt it once, kind of go from there. But back to your original question, RTY trades. It's one of those that has like a lot of sweeps and overshoots. So like you'll see all the time where you're like, okay, cool, here's the base. And then it comes down one more time, you know, stops you out, takes you out, and then goes and runs to the sun type of deal. So versus, you know, NQ, I feel like doesn't have as many sweeps. It'll kind of have like higher lows, lower highs, and kind of respect that a bit more.
Yep.
RTY sometimes is just off to the races. And
you like the volatility of that?
Yeah, it just depends. Actually, my Lawrence that's on my team for strong trading always gives me shit because he's like, why do you like trading RTY, bro? I hate that thing. And I'm like, well, you haven't traded it, number one. I trade it. And then like, I don't know, sometimes it does me good, sometimes it does me dirty. It's a love-hate relationship. It's like my abusive relationship with the stock market.
I know she's narcissistic, but I love her, okay?
But I love her, okay?
Just a quick shout out to Jarmo. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here in the chat. If anyone else is here, if you are in a trade, the rule is you must tell us. It's unfair for you to sit on profits and not let us know you're alpha.
Yeah, just by viewing, you've already agreed to and consented to that. All right, so I'm looking for a setup here. I'd like to see a full candle close above or below VWAP before I get interested. I built a new indicator yesterday to help me with that, and this is what I'm calling the VWAP counter, and it basically counts the number of bars that are above or below VWAP, generating a score of +1 or -1 on either side. So you can kind of see when the market opens here, there's this choppiness where it can't find direction, but ultimately in most sessions on NQ, the price will remain above VWAP or below VWAP for the session. So the last time we had a decent pullback was yesterday on Wednesday, October 22nd. And that was a fantastic bearish session that if you were involved on the short side, which I definitely was, that was a better day. In fact, that was the last day that I had a decent setup and I hit max profit on all my accounts. I would love to see a repeat of that. Yeah. So what I'm looking for today is a full candle close. That's been my guiding principle for a while now. That serves me really well. And I get really aggressive when we start seeing pullbacks like this. All that said, it looks like it's going to take a few candles before we actually get there. One of the other things I want to keep an eye on. Oh, cool. It just barely wicked on my guess on R2. I guessed that we'd probably hit about 26,100 before pulling back. And I was about right.
It's gosh, it's just so difficult without having levels for me, like these good psychological levels for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like we the whole numbers on NQ and whatnot, but yeah, just this straight up momentum. It's just like every part of me wants to like attempt to short like the overshoots and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, like this is good risk reward. Like, but a day like yesterday I would have got ran over. I'm actually proud because yesterday I woke up, I saw the gap, how we were, and I was like, you know what, this is when I suck and get my ass handed to me. I am literally not going to trade. I was like, I'm not doing it today.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm proud of myself for sticking to that and doing that, because normally I'd be like, no, we can do it, and
That's half the battle there. I mean, not losing money,
getting involved at the right time. That's been a tough one for me. It happened a while back, maybe 7 or 8 years ago when I first started. I would just sit on the sidelines on really good trades because I was too afraid of the risk. I finally got to a point where I probably got too comfortable with the risk, and now I'm trying to find that happy Goldilocks medium, if you will.
Yeah.
What's up, Aventura? Thank you for joining us.
And hey, Oscar 1352, thank you for being in the chat.
Not to be confused with Oscar 1351.
So right. if Trump, if there's a great deal with China, do we just never fill a gap again until January? It's just up and to the right.
Right.
I mean, I don't see why not. It's kind of one of those things where we've talked about this. Even the Schiller PE right now is posting some of the highest numbers I've seen in a long while. This is like .com level price to earnings ratios. We're at 4107 across the S&P 500 now. The last time we saw numbers this high was November of 1999, before the .com bust, at 4419. We've been here before. We've been in these areas before. October of 21, we were at 38 before we saw a pretty big pullback. So it seems like we can always have a blow off top before we finally find a healthy retrace and get back to healthy price to earnings ratios.
The problem is that the liquidity regime that was around back in the .com era, is even global financial crisis, is completely different than now. Now we have the situation where the central banks have to provide permanent liquidity to the markets. So that flexibility that allows that ebb and flow that we were used to before is like gone. Like if we take a look at the reverse repo and the standing repo, where the money markets and other financial institutions can borrow money and lend money and all that, it's just permanently borrowing money from the Fed all the time now. Just permanent liquidity that cannot stop or the market falls. And then you had this thing with, have you guys been paying attention to the new Fed chairman, or that Trump needs to
who's up
appoint?
for vote anyway? Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 people that they're considering.
But it looks like Trump really wants Scott Bessent to be both Treasury Secretary and Fed chairman.
Okay.
And if that happens, forget it. It's just no more independence. It's just straight up and to the right. So I'm just looking at these charts and I go, all the powers that be want the markets to be up and to the right, and why am I going to fight that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just like one of those things where it's like, we're just going straight up and you don't really want to fight it. And the amount of people that get their ass handed to them trying to just pick the top, right? It's like you're making it tougher for yourself. You're causing more pain. Like it's just not worth it most of the time. So I really wonder here in RTY if we're going to flip and hold this gap here or continue to go down. I'm liking this 5-minute bar. That's like attempting to hold. I actually like to short here a little bit more because we came up, we popped into VWAP, we retested like the top of the gap. Let's see. I might try this short. I think I'm going to try it.
When you trade, are you more of an intuitive trader, or do you have fixed rules that you try to follow?
So I do have I talked about this on the podcast a little bit. I have like some I call like soft rules and hard rules. So it's like hard rules usually are always just risk management rules where like I don't want to risk more than like X amount on the day, whatever it is. And soft rules is like kind of this rule near the open where this is my hardest. This is like usually actually my hardest, where we're right near like a level and area here at the open, and I'm interested in taking it. And it's like I have to make that decision. Like, do I want to either wait 20 minutes or not? gonna go ahead and share my screen here too if you guys want to pull it up at all. I did get short in this trade. We'll see if we can see if we can get here done into target.
By the way, I'm 0 for 1 at this point. I attempted that short below VWAP and it failed.
So let's see. This is looking decent here. I just put my stop here right above this bar because this was a good retest of IWM VWAP and the base of basically the overnight session, right? Which is good. So only thing that would screw me here is if this barely overshoots and then pops back up. But if we get some follow through here, I'm looking to fill this gap down into 2509. So I'll probably do a little. I don't want to get. I always get edged in the market where it's just like I'm really, really close, and then it ends up like not hitting TP. The amount of times I've done that on stream in front of people, I'm like, oh my gosh,
oh my god.
Come on. So
yeah,
like,
that is my least favorite. I definitely have had a number of those where I'm off by 25 cents on NQ and it goes back and hits my stop loss.
Yep. So this is actually a really good example of the type of trades I like to take. So we came down into the gap, we retrace into IWM VWAP. I get short. I'm risking $235 to make $885, right? I'm a big R multiple guy. I already took one small little loss attempting to do this. So, but it's okay because I tried the long initially. The long clearly market gave me feedback that the long isn't working for this. Now we're getting the dump. So it's like, now I'm just looking for the gap fill. Pretty simple and straightforward. So I'm trying to match up this gap fill with RTY and IWM right now. So that's why it's right around 10s, 25 10s. So if we get it down to there, I think that's going to be a solid one. And I might just, honestly, I'll probably just take that and just run away for the day. It's like, a one and done.
One and done. Just put some profit in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I've been trying to think when it comes to prop firms lately, I've been trying to not think in dollar terms. Instead, I'm just translating them to points because they have literally no relevance to the amount I'm going to receive in payouts.
Oh yeah,
same thing. So instead, it's like, okay, if you made 300 points today or 400 points, you put points on the scoreboard. That's all that really matters. Just keep pushing towards the goal.
Exactly. I only really, when people always say, "Oh my gosh, I made like." My biggest pet peeve in the prop space, bro, is these people that are like, oh my gosh, it was an insane day. I made $20,000, because I copy traded 20 accounts or something. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
Until it's a payout in your pocket, you didn't make shit. I'm sorry. Right. You didn't make anything. It's like, so that's like one of my biggest pet peeves in the space is all these people always saying that. So I've always been one just to be like, oh yeah, I traded one account today, made X amount of dollars on it. And I copy traded this many too or whatever, but I just track payouts, bro. I'm just like, what's the payouts? Like, what are the payouts? So I have like a Excel spreadsheet of like all my payouts that I track.
Yep.
And that's kind of the best way that, I go about it. But
I've started I have not even a spreadsheet. I would say it's more like an accounting ledger that breaks it down from an operational perspective and then a revenue and net revenue perspective or net income perspective. And the thinking behind that is, I'm trying to treat this as much like a business as possible. So I want to see all the expenses from the accounts, how long I've held them for, whether or not I'm following rules. I'm trying to journal every single trade that comes through, look for rule violations, and treat it like, how do I optimize this like a business? Because at the end of the day, this is a game of risk and reward, just like it is anything else. And again, we're not really making the profit from these trades. We're getting paid to follow rules. That's really what I think it comes down to.
Yeah.
Do you use any indicators?
Do I? I just use VWAP. So the other thing you guys can't see here too is I live in the Stone Age. I use Thinkorswim. All of my charting and stuff is done on Thinkorswim. I'm just executing here on Top 1 Futures on Project X.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, when you're like, where's your level? You're talking about this level, that level. Yeah, you can't. I don't have it on here because honestly, I just don't want to take time to redraw all the levels on here when I can.
Got it.
When I know where they are. So yeah, all my other stuff is on Thinkorswim. So I have all my stuff over here I'm looking at and what's going on.
I've heard some people say that the VWAP figure, even session VWAP on Project X doesn't seem to match other platforms. Have you experienced the same thing?
It doesn't. So look at this right here. We might be able to see that. So right here, it's 25.21. Go to the 5-minute here. 25.22 now. And on other platforms, like the actual VWAP is 25.22. So if you pull up the 5-minute, it usually is correct. If it's incorrect at all on any other time frame, like especially if you go to like a 2-minute or something, you have to zoom all the way out, and then I don't know if you just saw it, but it got readjusted.
Oh,
It's just like a little bug that it does. I don't know why it does it.
I've got 25, 22, 20 on TradingView for RTY as well.
Okay,
So maybe
correct.
it seems to vary from time to time. I do expect a slightly different VWAP figure on different time frames, which makes sense because depending on the settings of the indicator that you've set, it can either be based on the close or the HLC3. And of course, those price figures can change on different time frames, which would contribute to a slightly different number. But if you're on the same time frame and configuring it to close on both charts and it's still a different figure, then that means that volume is off on one of the platforms.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's kind of what I was thinking with Project X. I was like, it's probably like I kind of want to add to this trade. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
my aggressiveness wants to add to it because the rest of the market's starting to get a dump here. Should I do it for the culture? I'm going to do it for the culture. All right. I'm going to add one more.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I'll add one more. We'll see if it hits. The only thing I would hate here is if we pop up and then come back into RTY VWAP. So I think what I'm going to do, this would be like a max stop for the day, which is kind of aggressive, but yeah, whatever. For the stream, we'll do it. So we'll see if this comes down into here and crushes it. But I like how the rest of the market is dumping. Usually, when the rest of the market dumps, RTY will just slide with it. So we'll see. See what happens.
All right.
I want to thank you for joining us today. How are you finding your journey being online and being an influencer in the trading space? What's that like?
You know, I really enjoy it, man. I really enjoy it just because, I don't know, I've always liked social media, I guess, in some way. I liked Instagram. I don't like everything else. What an ad, by the way. I hope this ends up taking me out. It was great. I've always liked Instagram. It's always kind of been my thing. And like back in the day, so I've competed in powerlifting for years and years on end. So I used to always like film my lifts. I had a powerlifting little community of people that would support me and stuff on Instagram. And it's always been something I've just really enjoyed. So when I started like, you know, building my personal brand as like the strong trader, you know, first of all, the name like kind of came easy because I thought about that. I'm like, oh, I compete in powerlifting. This makes sense. This is simple, yada, yada. And oh my gosh, I'm getting edged by one tick.
Did you nail it?
Oh.
Order filled.
Let's go, baby. There it is. One and done. Okay. So here's real quick. One thing always I do, and I encourage everyone else to do this. I know myself. I will be like, okay, well, I'm hot. Let's keep going. Boom.
Lock
all
out,
day.
buddy.
Lock out. $1,000 in the bank.
Well done.
Not in the bank, but in the sim account.
We mean in the sim account. We mean points.
Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I really enjoy it just because, like, I don't know, I actually enjoy making content. Like, I like making videos. I like thinking about the algorithm, how to make videos and stuff like that. And for me, sharing my journey was always, I don't know, like it was always just something where I was like, if I kind of just put everything out there and talk about the ups and downs, it's like, who's gonna say anything to me, right? Like, who's gonna, you know, I'm just doing me pretty much is what it comes down to. So, so like, I think as I'm now starting to grow more, because like Instagram, I have like almost 33,000 followers, something like that. That's my main, like, you know, platform. You know, you start to see some of the hate come in here and there, like, you know, and I'm like, it's just inevitable. It's going to happen. It's like, not everyone's going to like you, I guess. But, you know, just sharing it and then seeing it inspire other people, I think is honestly like the most rewarding thing. So I always talk about how like trading is a very selfish endeavor. It's a very selfish endeavor. We're just basically taking money from one person to another, you know. Obviously the props, it's a little bit different. We're taking it from the prop companies, so it's like it's a little bit different there. But like it's a way for me just to share, again, just the inevitable ups and downs of what you go through as a trader. And it's funny, I know you guys just had Austin on, I think yesterday. Austin was like, dude, you need, like, we need like a reality TV show basically of like your life and the emotions. And I was like, I always joke around. I'm like, dude, we got to do like a Jersey Shore type of house where it's like all of us and it's like, filmed like that, but we're all just trading together. I was like, that would be so funny.
Absolutely. I would totally watch that. Oh my God.
I've seen it. I've seen a few. There was a documentary series back in the I think early 2000s, and Tim Sykes was in it. Actually, they did a whole series on him and how he was a penny stock trader and he was trading at home. And they did this whole like segment with his mom trying to take care of him. He's like, "Get out of here, mom! I'm trading right now."
Oh my gosh, that's so
ridiculous, but hilarious. And look, I mean, I've been a trader for a really long time. So has Tom. And in my journey in interviewing traders like you as well, Tanner, it's unbelievable how much we have in common. And our personality traits are the same. I love traders. I love this community. I love the people involved in it. I love the personalities. Mm-hmm. We're a weird bunch of people, but we're doing really well at what we do. So
yeah, it's and that's again like why, that's I think why like any influencer content in the trading space that you just show the, again, the ups and downs. Like I never wanted to be like like showing my Lambo off marketing. Like that's First of all, I don't have a damn Lambo. Number one. Number two, like, as I'm starting to see some success and like, this was like my breakout year. For sure. Like eventually, maybe, I might get a cool car or something like that, but it's just not like, I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I'm like, I don't want to like have everything be like, okay, here it is. This is it. I'm like, no, I just show the ebbs and flows of the journey. And again, like the work that's required to stay in the game and like keep your mindset elevated, all that type of stuff. And so like back to like the reality TV thing Austin was saying, because I was talking about this on stream last Friday. He's like, bro, remember last month? He's like, you were all upset because like I lost my live account with Top One Futures. I literally blew $15,000 in a month, trading all-time highs, just getting run over, paper cut after paper cut after paper cut. Threw a few tilt days in there. I'm human. It happens here and there. And, I remember literally blowing the account and then like pulling out my phone and being like, there's a reel. I was like, I don't want to make this video, but I'm doing it because I feel like I have to just to showcase guys. Like, I lost my live account, I screwed up. And I just felt like shit about it, like mentally. But then like the community is like, dude, like you're a good trader. We've seen you trade. It is what it is. That made me feel good. And then also in a weird way, Umar Ashraf lost like $1 million the same month. So I was like, okay, I think I'm fine.
yeah, exactly. That's maybe another great thing about all of this is that there's so many levels to this game. And in some cases, especially if you watch, there's a guy on YouTube named Benjamin who has all these really interesting short documentaries about different aspects of trading. He's absolutely hilarious, but one of the things he likes to review is some of the biggest degen traders in the world, like Huang, who I can't remember the exact name. Actually, I'll pull up the video in a bit. But the guy lost over $1 billion. Like there's a level to this where it doesn't really matter if you lost 40 grand in a year or 100 grand in a year. There's somebody who lost orders of magnitude more than you have on even worse sized trades. And it's a reminder that this is a game of risk at any level. Even if you've been doing this for 40 years, it's like the guys from Long-Term Capital in the 1990s, they were over leveraged to the tilt and almost collapsed the whole market. It's a case study at Harvard now if you're studying finance. These guys are brilliant, and collectively they had IQs off the charts and they still lost money like crazy. So
so I mean, that's what it's about, man. Just showcasing the journey. So like, when I showcase that and then of course the bounce back, right? Like last month it got my ass handed to me, and this month has been the best month of my entire career. It's been astronomical, like payout wise. I'll look right now. I have 2 more payouts I'm about to take with Top Step that are literally due. I just have to do like 2 flip days. So payout wise overall, $32,000 in payouts this month, and I hit a $20,000 day trade on options. So I did 50 grand this month trading, which for me is like I average like 10 to 15K a month in payouts usually. Like it's like nothing crazy, but like pretty standard around there. Sometimes 20 if it's a really good month. So this month to like, take out 50 grand from the market, I'm like, holy shit, dude, like this is crazy. So,
Fantastic.
again, just the ebbs and flows though, right? Like mentally I was all down last month and upset. And then of course, boom, I stay in the fight. I recoup. I figure out, okay, where am I going wrong? What am I screwing up on? Wow, there's some news right now. This is quite the pop.
Whoa.
We just popped on something there.
Yeah. But yeah, stay in the fight, keep going, and then you come back on. So yeah, it's a crazy journey. I think your original question was, do you enjoy sharing your stuff on social media? So yeah, I do. It's a cool thing.
Excellent.
Wow.
All right. Is there any news here? You seen anything out there, Mike?
What was that spike? That was
We
interesting.
have news in 4 minutes at the top of the hour, I think. Let's see.
As a reminder, everyone, we are using, or Mike and I are using TradersPost in order to tie our prop firm accounts together and send a signal off from TradingView to our accounts in one go. Right from TradingView, we can have alerts and drawings on the chart that can connect it all. I love it because it allows me to get more granular control over any individual prop firm accounts, so I can have my evaluation accounts treated differently than my funded accounts, and in my funded accounts I could take more risk in one, less risk in another, and see how that works out. So you guys can always go to TradersPost.io, use the coupon code PropScaling20 in order to get 20% off your monthly or yearly subscription. And yes, it also works if you have an existing account for add-ons you'd like to add. So please head over there and take a look.
So as promised, Tanner, I figure we could show you kind of what we use the platform for.
Yeah.
I have two different approaches, two different ways to get in and out of the markets on mostly just M and Q, but it could be done, the same approach could be done across multiple symbols. I like to, right now I'm just trading M and Q, but I have two different strategies that are active on TradersPost. And a strategy is basically this idea of how do you get in and how do you get out? How do you size your position? Do you have a take profit or stop loss attached to it? Things like that. So on the scalping trades, what I usually do is I just trade one contract M and Q, and it has different size take profit and stop loss attached to it on the incoming signal. And a signal is basically just a list of rules that come with the original message. Like for example, this message here is the long entry signal, and it tells TradersPost what to trade, how much of it to trade, and then here's the take profit and stop loss. So at times I might change these values, and then that signal gets sent to TradersPost, and it'll change the take profit or stop loss according to the market price. On the trend following strategy, that one just has a 60-point trailing stop attached to it. In this case, you can see I went short here below VWAP. Thought we were going to go, but it's not doing it. And it just has this trailing stop here attached to it. And that trades that same way across all of the connected accounts at the same time. So you can see on the left here, I have 6 different prop firm accounts, all connected. They all have basically the same P&L. And here's the original signal to get into that trade. So you can see my signal didn't even have a stop loss attached to it. And that's because the strategy rules in the stop loss side tell it to attach a trailing stop of 60 points. And so that just gets done by TradersPost for me. And I could do this differently in each account. If I had a larger account in here, I could trade one with 2 contracts, one with 1 contract, so on and so forth. So what I'm doing now is just watching from one reference account, if you will. I just connected one of the Apex accounts to TradingView so I can watch the P&L live, but I know that it's affecting all the accounts with this one trade.
Okay, cool. That's interesting.
And so the way I'm getting in and out of these trades right now is just by using a button. I have these alerts that are on the chart that just have a condition that says if price is greater than 0, which it always is, the moment I hit this play button, it's going to send off this signal to TradersPost to trade that trade across all those accounts.
Love that. I just actually got set up yesterday on TradersPost with my my old mentor started doing automation with with this VWAP strategy. So we got it set. I got it set up actually yesterday with a Top Step XFA. So
awesome, good to hear.
So I didn't really understand exactly how he did it. He just kind of, his assistant like set it all up for me and did it all for me. So, but everything you're going through here, I'm like, oh yeah, he's talking about that. Okay, this makes sense. This is that. So yeah, I'm excited just to see. I think with automation, my biggest thing is I have to have it on like an account I'm not looking at, not paying attention to, and
otherwise you'll mess around with it.
Yeah, I think it's the hardest part of automation is literally trusting the law of large numbers, because again, you just have to be able to understand that it is a big numbers game. And for us discretionary traders, we're just not used to that, right? Wait, no, I'm not in control of pressing the button. And it's like, no, you're not. So
the beauty is that this can be done either way. So if you're a discretionary trader like I have been this morning, I've tried a few scalps. Now I'm trying a trend approach to head for the short. It's probably not going to play out, but let's see. I'm doing all this just from alert buttons here on the right hand side, and it's all by discretion. Now that said, I do have other automated strategies that trade from VWAP. This is an automated strategy that I built using VWAP, and it determines the entries and exits and then sends a signal off to TradersPost from here. So there are obviously several different ways to use this, but just for our sessions on Price Action Live, we do it all on a discretionary basis.
Beautiful.
Ventura saying that TradersPost is the best platform for trading automation. I've tried everything, and this is the best. Thank you so much, Ventura.
Appreciate you saying that, man.
Absolutely. Oscar has been in a long, and he's long one MNQ, and he's going to be perhaps adding more to it. He hasn't been stopped out, so I'm glad to see that. But I'm here. I can decide what direction to go to, so I'm going to stop pressing the button because that is not going to serve me well. If you have to guess, Tanner, wild card, you have to guess the market ends up lower today or higher today. What would you say?
Gosh. Overall, I think we might. I feel like we're just going to keep drifting higher. I don't know. See, I'm always like, my old mentor used to always say, I'm not in the prediction business, meaning just like, kind of where we end up, we try to react the best we can. Again, I don't want to be shorting all-time highs, but the way this is kind of starting to pan out, it doesn't look that good. I feel like we're just going to slowly drift higher again. Personally,
right.
Again, this is a tough day. This is a tough day. Here's a good little gem. I talk to people about this a lot, especially my students. The idea of setting expectations for the day. And I feel like a lot of discretionary traders don't do this. And when I say set expectations, I don't mean like, I'm going to make X amount of money or whatever it is. I mean, like, what is going on the econ calendar? Where are we from a technical point of view? And then from there, what are your expectations because of that, right? And can you be honest with yourself about that? So day before FOMC, grinding at all-time highs, the gap up yesterday. What's the expectation today? Well, I don't think we're going to have a crazy expansion move. That's the last thing I'm going to think about. It might be more choppy, right? Exactly kind of like we've seen. It's just chop pretty much. So it's like my expectation for the day is not much. And so I change a little bit of my my targets, my thesis for the day based on that. And so that was why yesterday too, I was like, okay, probably low expectations for the day, the gap up over the weekend. We had like 100-point range during New York, or like 100-point move during New York. It wasn't much. I think towards the end of the day, it ended up popping more. We got like 200, but the ATR and NQ is like 300 and something points. So for me, it's like during New York session, you miss the bulk of it overnight. I'm like, this is probably going to be a crap session. If I capture 40 points or 50 points, that's good, right? It's like, that's kind of how I like to think a lot. So again, for me, just setting expectations for the day, what do I think might happen? And then the days are like, okay, we had like a double inside day on the daily chart, right? I'm like, okay, we're set up for an expansion move, and we have news today. Today's probably going to be a ripper. There's probably going to be a good opportunity. Doesn't mean I'm going to load the boat and like full port my accounts, but if the setup's there, I might swing the bat. So it's like, that's kind of what it comes down to.
It makes
Yeah,
sense.
at the end of
Okay.
the day, we're all kind of waiting around for real price action. This chop is complete
Mm.
nonsense. This is not a signal, but occasionally we get a really strong signal on the charts, and it's hard not to want to trade that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I loved RTY this morning. It was the only thing that had some sort of structure, something to work with, and got my piece, got out. You know?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, speaking of getting out, let's leave that there for today. But before we do, I just want to encourage everybody, if you're here, please go ahead and take a look at the Strong Traders YouTube channel and Twitter account and Instagram account. He is prolific. As you've heard today, he gives you the good and the bad, which is what I look for someone if they're going to be telling me the truth. And you come off as somebody who is... you got to follow from me. That's definitely going to happen.
Appreciate
So take a look in the description. You guys have the links there. And go follow him online. And maybe, give him a shout out and say, hey, TradersPost sent you. If you do that, it makes me feel good. Include an emoji there. You guys know how much I like emojis. Also, remember to like and subscribe the TradersPost channel. We are here every day, 9:30 a.m. to Eastern Standard Time, trading for your amusement and potentially for our profit and loss. Hey, we also put it all on the table.
Mostly for their amusement.
But we have all kinds of different content here on the TradersPost channel. We want to have a community here of giving you ideas for strategies, giving you tools for trading, and of course, making the best advanced trade execution platform known to man. But for now, we will wish you, as always, happy trading.
Cheers, everybody.
Peace.